if SEO changes in the next 6 months, 12 months, should I invest in the SEO that's relevant now or not, basically? How do you answer that?
That's what we should think of when it comes to SEO, and that's what we should invest in. That's what you can do already today. You don't need the huge SEO team to provide helpful content for users. All you need to do is just go talk to your sales internally.
Hello, everyone, to another episode of Revenue Marketing Real Talk. Today with a very special guest, internal expert here, Sasha on the mic, representing the organic and SEO team, specifically the technical part you're very savvy in. And I think many of our listeners might not even know that we, in fact, have an organic team, because we tend to talk a lot about paid. I think Tim loves paid, of course, as well. But historically speaking, which is very interesting, organic has been the longest standing department and we have very deep roots in for the last years and years and expertise for Yoyaba, and where we have quite the elite team. We want to showcase one of its senior members today. So very pleased that you're joining me here today, Sasha, and welcome to the podcast. I do want to start with an interesting question, because I think organic and SEO, it's so, for a lot of marketing experts, but also strategic decision makers, it's in a little bit of a weird spot right now. There's a lot of conversation about different topics. Why do you think that is?
Well, there has been a lot of change in the SEO industry lately, in terms that there were different kind of flakes of Google documentation, the AI coming through to the world, and of course people want to use everything, and people start abusing different things, and it all leads to a lot of conversation in the industry, because some want to trick the system, some want to deliver the high quality there, and it's all about where we're actually heading to and where we should put our efforts to. Is it about just quickly producing a lot of content, or is it about the quality of the content?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been a mess lately, and I'm happy that we are touching on this right now, because we can break some myths today.
100%, yeah. I think SEO is dying is a phrase I've heard for a long time, for different reasons always. It's so funny because it evolves in itself somehow. It never what was true so far. So it's still alive and well. And I think it's one of the more exciting spaces actually to be in, because there's a lot of opportunity there with new technology evolving. I also feel like one of the big things, of course, is AI generated search results, right? So first of all, when ChatGPT was launched, everyone's like, that's going to kill Google. Didn't really happen, and Google really was pushed to kind of present their own solution. I think it's getting implemented in Americas more and more, but people have mixed experience with this. How do you see that evolving?
So Google is definitely testing AI out right now, and it hasn't been a very good test. People see all kinds of mixed results with really bad quality answers, and Google is also taking the feedback, so they are reverting some of these rollouts and trying to modify them and so on. I think it will reappear in the different format. Google will test it more and more, and the idea behind this is just to give user a direct answer, so user quickly finds the solution to the problem with which they are coming to Google. And Google will get better at that over time. And our task as SEOs is to make sure that our websites are findable there. Mm-hmm. And it's possible. And Google will not take it away, because Google is not creating this content. Google is taking this content from other websites, trying to understand the whole topic, take information from here and there, and just putting together that answer. And we can stay ahead of that game by delivering really great content that is helpful for our customers, and then Google will take that, and there will be some way to navigate to the website that actually produces that content. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And I think AI is almost like a topic for at least one, probably more conversations in the future, and definitely one of the ways to gain a lot of viewership right now is just slapping the AI topic onto it. But this is really, it seems to me as of now, a lot of surface conversation also, because if you kind of like compare the amount of hype around this topic versus like the actual changes it has been inflicting as of yet, at least, and like the pace has been, I think, slower, as you mentioned. Some people thought it would be. We're seeing a little bit of a different picture. Still, though, there's a lot of fear, I think, especially for marketing leaders, in like the question of, should we invest in SEO right now? Is this space, is it stable enough? Because SEO always has this connotation of it delivering like results on a longer time frame. So if SEO changes in the next 6 months, 12 months, should I invest in the SEO that's relevant now or not, basically? How do you answer that?
If the question is, should you invest in SEO? The answer is no. But you should invest in the user experience. And that's what we should think about when SEO comes to mind. That's what we do. It's no longer about search engines. It's no longer about the keywords. It's about the user experience on the one of the touch points that user has as on its buyer journey. And website is one of the touch points here. And our task is to make sure that user gets the right experience through all kinds of different things on the website. First, from just entering the website and having it loaded quickly, not just waiting 10 minutes until something pops up on that website. It's like a foundation. Or even before that, make sure that the website at all appears in the search result. Then the website speed. After that, what kind of content is there on this website? Is it helpful? Is it answering the problematic that the user comes with? If no, then like it's again a bad user experience. So we should think from this perspective and not from the perspective of what the search engine will do next. How can I trick the trend? How can I trick Google and so on? Because Google is actually really good and understanding what is going on in the industry, how people are trying to trick the system, and then adapt the system in the way that people to make it even harder for people to trick it. And with the right content that is answering the questions that people have, helping really people to understand what their problems are even better, then proposing them a solution as the next step, and then supporting them with the solution, helping them to buy the right product without possibly interacting with actual human, because that's where we're tending to. People don't want to talk to humans. That's what we should think of when it comes to SEO, and that's what we should invest in. It's like a combination of different things. And your website is not a business card. Your website is a money generating machine. It should be, at least.
Interesting. So you're proposing a view that's more centered around the user than the search engine itself. Yeah, I think a lot of people get that wrong, thinking about still very keyword centric thing. And one thing you touched upon, which I found very interesting, is the content quality, right? I think we've seen a lot of approaches with AI content in the past few months, where people pump up websites like crazy with hundreds of articles of mediocre content, only to see them crash with the next update Google releases. Do you still see some people avoiding, like, going through the cracks of Google updates, or do you think those will eventually all fade away because Google is just that good at identifying kind of like bad intent content?
I think Google is like considering a lot of different things when ranking the content, and we know even more about it now with the recent leak. For sure, there will be people who will try to trick the system, and it will work short term always. I think that's inevitable. But those people will every time face the same situation. They will just, with the next update, or maybe in a few updates, they will just go back to square one. And when it comes to AI content, it's of course, like, it helps you a lot. You can create something at scale. You can roll out a lot of content. And you can do it better right now. You can really train the machine to really know what your product is about, and even help the machine develop the style in which it writes content. And then you can also train the machine not to use this silly words like delve and so on. There's been a lot of buzz around specific words that AI is using, and you can then really define if it's AI generated content. But Google recommendations clearly say that content must be helpful, and it must be also reviewed by humans. It must be ideally written by humans, and or at least edited by humans. And I think that human touch can add a lot to the content creation. Even if you do it with AI, you can scan it through, make sure that the style is there, and still deliver good quality. But I would say that like just pure AI content creation has no future unless this machine becomes like super smart at some point.
That's always the door you leave open with those type of answers, I feel like. Unless it just takes over. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I see it the same way. It's very tough to deliver like true insights with AI as of yet. And that kind of reflective of good content, like, right? True, like novel insights. Very interesting. So leaving that behind a little bit, you said it's just all about the website, right? And when I think about it, for me, it makes so much sense because when I look at my buyer journeys, the way I buy is I usually, and buy software specifically, I usually see some sort of content, organic or ads or whatever out there. And then at some point I just decide to go check out the website to kind of like engage with the product, kind of like take a deeper look. Let's take the 30 seconds, look at the website. I have a 5-minute break here. Let's just see what it's up. What is it about? And when I have a bad experience there's almost no coming back from that. Like, it will take me years of convincing to go back to the website and then re-engage with the thought of maybe that's actually something interesting. So what I'm interested in here is kind of like listen to what do you think are the most important or like the biggest pitfalls you see companies falling into regarding their website experience these days?
So talking about pitfalls. Like I actually want to add a little bit to your experience because I just need to share this with the world.
Please do.
So often I'm on LinkedIn and then I see some nice post by some company and it's just like, oh, looking so colorful, such a nice approach, some advertisement. I want to click, I look at it, oh, it's so good. And the page is so optimized for conversion rate. And then like I already have this provider, this company in mind, and then I go to the website and then I crash and then I'm thinking, oh God, like you spent money on me because I clicked on your ad just now. And then I go to your website and it's so bad. But like you anyway spend money on this website. Somebody's maintaining this website. Like you probably have some marketing person who is writing content on this website, but I literally can't find my way around it. And that's heartbreaking for me as an SEO. So the biggest pitfalls is not, I think, understanding your audience well and not using all of the different channels to complete the user journey. Because the user journey right now is not like straightforward. It's not linear, whatever you pronounce this funny word. The customer doesn't go from A to B and then C and then the deal is done. The decision-making process is pretty complicated. Sometimes it takes a long time until the potential customer comes back to the website. And we need to think about this holistically. And that's what we actually do at Yuyapa because we have so much of the internal expertise. We can connect on the different levels and really understand the client. So first of all, understand the audience. Like what is the problem that they have? What kind of pains they have, then what kind of gains your product provides. And then you need to deliver pretty much the holistic message across different channels to make sure that wherever this potential client is stumbling upon you, like the picture becomes even more complete about your product. This potential customer builds even more trust with you, understanding that you are the right solution. You is the one who is not only going to solve my problems, but is going to provide me support. It's gonna also write a good content that I can use in the future for myself. It also providing content around the topic that I know that is written by humans, for example, or is written by experts, and I can trust this content and rely on it, and so on. And that the journey is not really complicated. People hate complicated stuff right now. I feel like, especially with the Gen Z becoming or like stepping into the door of decision making, it's really hard to convince them to talk to humans or to quickly make the decision. They want to be independent about their decision, and they want to make sure that you as a company are good. So they like seek the answers across different channels. And very often, like you see one image of the website on one platform or like of the company at one platform, and then the website is bad. So you pretty much you lose money. And on top of everything comes, of course, the user experience on the website from the technical perspective. People have no patience anymore to wait 10 seconds until your page loads, or they have no patience to research, like going from landing page to landing page to landing page to find a solution. And here internal linking is important to make sure that like from page A, potentially user can be interested in page B, and there is a way to link to navigate from here to there to make this buyer journey more transparent and easy without any additional research. So I would say this might be the big pitfalls.
Interesting. Yeah. So two main takeaways for me here are, first of all, just making sure all the information is actually there for people to make their own decisions and informing themselves. And the second one is then that they also find joy in navigating the whole thing, and actually, which will make them stick out for longer, right? Seek out more information if they don't find any troubles or problems along the way.
Yeah. You don't even need really keyword research here in some way, in some cases. It's about just naturally creating content. That's what you can do already today. Like you don't need the huge SEO team to provide a helpful content for users. All you need to do is just go talk to your sales internally. Go talk to your paid marketing team. Ask them for insights. The first one will have insights from the front line, talking to people, knowing what exactly is being sold and how it's been sold. And then paid marketing people will have insights about the audience. They will know what is working with the audience. And then you already have so much information that you can use on your website. So just make sure that you're going in more or less like the same direction. Also, creativity here, like use some ways to show your customers that your website is not only about like whatever product you're doing, but it's also engaging. Test out different things. Don't be afraid that there is no keyword. Just write something natural, what fits the product, what is not super complicated, and that should work in most cases already.
Do you see that on also like reflecting in like rankings for? I mean, I think a top concern for a lot of people is still then getting towards like top 3 placements is usually where highest percentage of visibility is on Google for like those money making keywords, exactly those keywords you also wouldn't want to have like a non-brand Google campaign running on. Like anything associated directly with like software or different identifiers of like people are willing to put money on the table when searching for this. Are there some extra things you would suggest looking into when wanting to get to those top spots, or people struggling to get to those top spots? Or is it really just about what you just said, providing that natural content and that will take care of it?
I think content is definitely a key here. You need to provide a good one. What's also important is the user intent here. You really need to understand what is the intent behind this query or keyword that you're trying to rank for. Whether that's a keyword that is shown you by some tool, or that's something what is like naturally popping up in your head. And like maybe like a quick tip on how you can test it. Just like you don't know if that's a keyword, you just type in something in Google, it returns result, and then it can be a keyword, but just not defined by any kind of tool. but without any kind of search volume, but it still has results. So you need to understand what kind of results are behind that. Are they purely informational, or are they going in the commercial direction? If you are trying to create some commercial content for the keyword that is rather returning informational search results, well, most probably it will not work. Google is pretty good by now understanding what kind of pages to rank in search for different keywords that people typing. Of course, in some cases, some things are changing, and right now we also see a lot of changes from commercial intent to more informational intent, possibly also because of the AI rollout and Google trying to give the answer directly in this AI snippets. But intent is key for sure. You need to know what's behind these keywords, because Google is already giving you a tip like, hey, when you type this in, people most probably want to see a commercial page. So that's when you have to create some landing page. Or people want to see actually a blog article here. So you need to create a blog article. You can test out something in between. But yeah, it's a test.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Especially also like when we talk about not investing in like more the old way of looking at SEO and more like the new way. I found that the website specifically as a centerpiece within all of marketing and web messaging and all of that really comes together. It's so important not to be like a one-time project, right?
Oh yeah.
A lot of companies look at it in a way that once every full moon or every 5 years or whatever, whenever they have the leeway and the budget to kind of do it, they will have like a relaunch, and that needs to be like, it's such a huge project. Like there's brand involved, there is like everyone involved, but no one really, and it's like it sits often in between different sub departments from the responsibility side of things. I feel like this makes it often a very messy project, which drags on for a long time. And once it's finished, everyone is so happy, and like a next period of not touching the website occurs for the next kind of period. So what would you think is a better model to this?
I think you already implied the answer in your question. Let me give you an example of one of our clients.
Yeah.
They just decided to pause content creation. They just decided to pause it for a while, for around 6 months. They decided, oh, it's really not working. It's not really much for us. But it takes a lot of resource to create it. And then what? In half a year, they're like, oh, our rankings are dropping, or our visibility is decreasing, our clicks are not there. Like, of course they are not there. You're not maintaining your content. You're not creating new one. And if you're measuring this by these metrics, your SEO success or organic success, of course, it's going to decline because you're not putting anything into it. But in fact, you all the time have somebody who is working on the website, right? You have some marketing person who is updating here and there something. You probably have somebody who is creating some blog article about some product launch and so on here and there. Then just make it strategic or make a plan out of it. Do it on the consistent basis. And then it's going to do more good than actually harm, because these projects, like long-term project, like big one, or you create a lot of content and then you can exhale, it's working, but for a little while. It's better to do it maybe on the slower pace, but more consistently with really high quality, with a strategy behind. What are you tackling? Are you tackling like top of the funnel keywords, or maybe bottom of the funnel, or maybe like you want to tackle like all stages of the funnel but different kind of content, just to see how these different kind of things are being perceived by your audience. Just go there with a plan on the consistent basis, and then you will see the actual growth and results versus just huge projects here and there, and all the time being really reactive in your strategy versus proactive.
Yeah, for sure. Still, though, I think maybe we can dive a little deeper in terms of where should the website be situated at, because there's so many stakeholders involved, right? Is it possible, do you think, like, should SEO own the website?
Oh, ideally, yes.
The whole website?
Well, it's the ideal world, but that's not the case
Yeah.
in most.
So
in
web
most situations.
development is then also within the SEO department almost.
Oh, like yeah, I like the teamwork of the SEOs and devs. It's a dream team when it's working because you can do so much together then. But yeah, it's typically owned by the different teams. So some marketing part of the website is owned by product marketing. They're
Yeah.
taking care of everything. Then the blog is owned by the content creation, and often they don't talk to each other. And sales just exists like as a separate aisle, and there is no communication. And it's important to establish communication there to unify the strategy, the direction you're going into, and again, like optimize those touch points on your website, just the way you're optimizing that in your paid marketing.
True, yeah. It's so funny because I think a lot of SEOs have been fighting in-house but also from an agency side with misconceptions about SEOs of what SEO can do for you, not for you, when it's the right thing to do or not to do, all of these things. So they've become really good at managing complex situations with other people and explaining things, etc. And now you're saying SEO needs to be more integrative, I think, is what I'm hearing. Like, yes, cannot work on its own, needs to have connections to sales, super marketing, etc. Puts it actually in an interesting position to also be the glue in the marketing and sales team, maybe to initiate conversations and to be the one then in the end deriving output that's on the website then on it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. That's actually the problem many clients are coming to us with. They don't have this contact between different departments, and then we jump in, and we are like having in the first week's call with the product marketing. Then we have a call with the sales. We have some questionnaires that we ask to fill out. If there are more services that Yoyaba is providing, then we are doing also the customer research. And this already gives us a lot of information. On top comes the SEO research. We are checking the status quo, and then we are researching the gaps and opportunities. And then we realize that, there is one strategy here, there is another one there, and then there is the third one that sales is pushing. And our task here is to make sure that everybody there is talking to each other. And very often clients themselves are realizing that they haven't been talking to each other. They have been living in the different countries on the different continents. And when they realize this, they actually start talking more often. They establish some meetings. They include us in the meetings. And then our role there is like to strategically navigate them across the latest trends, what's going on. So our role as Yoyaba in this collaboration is to help our clients navigate in the right way, or connect the dots, or like spot something what they are not spotting, research the right, let's say, keywords or other opportunities that it's worth investing to, that's worth paying attention to. Sometimes client cannot see it, that it's maybe worth creating a set of feature pages because it seems like obvious that everything comes from the solution pages. So it's then our task to spot things like this and then just navigate the client and together discuss if it's even relevant for them or no.
So being an initiator also, and I think that's so unique actually. If I think about it, not a lot of people would expect, I assume, like if they are like, oh, let's hire an SEO agency, first thing they do is talk to product marketing and sales. That's like, doesn't seem very natural, but it makes so much sense if you consider that. Doesn't really do anything good if you just start creating another island, going in the still different direction than all of those departments in the first place anyway. So yeah, I think this is also one of the very values you bring to clients as an external partner, right? Or you have the opportunity to do so. What do you think? A lot of people always think, especially for SEO, should we in-house it? Should we have an external partner? How much sense does it make? Like, when do you think, of course, having an external partner does make sense, but when specifically do you think is it the best solution? And maybe do you also have scenarios in mind where in-housing would be advised to do?
So there are different reasons why you might need the SEO external partner. First, you have no internal expertise at all. But you want to start from somewhere, you see that there is a potential in creating content, or you just want to try it out. And SEO is a good, external SEO is, of course, a good resource or a go-to place to get advice here and get navigated, set as the first strategy, then possibly in the future in-house when you grow big. Sometimes you have a one warrior game who like a person marketer who's doing literally everything, and this person needs some potentially more guidance because the person is all-rounder, or the person wants some deeper insights, and you or we as external agency have a lot of insights. We work with so many B2B SaaS websites. We have a lot of insights. We see what's going on the market. We see all of these trends. We are attending different SEO conferences. So we know what's going on the market, and we can on spot identify what's your problem or like in which direction you should go and so on. We can help with guidance. And sometimes there are huge companies where they have huge teams as well, and they just need external person to unite the strategy. That's what we just talked about earlier, when like there are huge departments, product marketing, sales, content creation, and they sort of all work towards the same goal, but they don't talk to each other. And here is where the agency can really help you streamline your strategy, so you all go in the same direction from the different touch points.
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's important to note here we're mostly talking about, let's say, companies within like 10 to 50 million ARR, somewhat that size. I think at a certain point, also website becomes even more complex in a way that you have a lot of legal and other departments even taking place in that a lot, especially for other business models like comparison sites, like Idealo is a big German one. I think that might actually make sense to have an in-house team, probably, because it's such a central part of how they generate revenue also. It's like all these keywords of should I buy this or that, or finding good offers for a TV or something, like so much organic going into that, and kind of like impacts the whole site and all that. But for B2B SaaS mostly, what's interesting to me is it seems like an underutilized space for many. I recently had an example where I audited a company, and I included a little bit of SEO in that as well. And what I found is that everyone was pushing heavy ads. No one was pushing the organic side of things, which leaves like a very good position, just kind of really, even on like a 3 to 6 month basis, I think, just go in there and dominate the space. Like, and what I found most interesting is when I talk to marketing leaders, and they usually somehow manage to get like 5, sometimes 10, sometimes 15, 20K more budget on like a quarterly basis or like a monthly basis out of their executives to test a new channel, or maybe just kind of like see how much can we scale Google Ads or whatever. And that's all good, but sometimes not as data-driven as I would hope. Then though, on the other side of things, it's sometimes tough to convince to put a similar amount of money or even less into organic, which opens up a completely new channel and brings a lot of like added benefits to, again, strategic alignment, but then also just like conversion. It seems so obvious to me because we talked about the buyer's journey often ending on the website, and that can be a good or a bad ending, right? And just making sure more people experience like the very good website. One example I have is Chili Piper from the US. I love their website. I'm not in market for their product, but still I visit it frequently just because I love the website and I love the messaging they do. And it kind of makes me love the brand over time, even though I don't have any affiliation with the product. Again, I'm not even like target group, but I can assume like there's a lot of people loving the brand because you just go on the website. I think the first thing they tell you is how they double your conversion rate. And I'm like, sounds great. So that's a positive example for everyone to look up. Chili Piper, that's a US company, software company. That sort of experience is what we want, I think, in SEO as well.
Yeah, for sure. SEO is not just about creating content. We think about conversion rate, of course.
Yeah.
When we are optimizing some landing pages, there must be a storyline there. Like the user needs to understand like one after another in the logical form. So if, let's say, it's a solution page, of course, there should be different elements that are responsible for different things. There should be some visual. There should be some case study. There should be some KPIs that other customers are reaching with this product. And we are all looking at this. We are not just creating content. We look at the holistic picture of the product and trying to build a story on every single page that answers the pains that people are coming with, provides the solutions to their pains, and then also gives them the opportunity, A, to convert, B, to learn more. Yeah,
100%.
That's already a briefing for the landing page.
Yeah, true. I think this is actually one of the advices I would give to almost all marketing leaders is rethink like your channel expansion strategy in a way that like maybe instead of thinking about like the 4th paid channel you want to test this year, think of switching gears or investing in organic more, at least investigating the case for you. Like for some, it might not make that much sense, but for a lot, it really does. And there's a lot of low-hanging fruits in there. So coming back to where we started with a lot of panic and anxiety in this space, I want to kind of close out with what are you most excited for in the SEO space to come? What developments?
I'm probably the most excited for the next reason for SEO to die. Dive deep into that.
That will come.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
And yeah, just like continue doing the good stuff, actually. Good stuff that is helping clients. And we will see how Google is evolving and how it's going to impact the whole search experience. And we will probably need to adapt. We will probably need to find the new ways. And that's actually the most exciting part for me of the SEO work. It has always been just stay in the game, make sure you deliver the high quality, and be proactive about the trends that are coming there. And right now it's AI, we know it. And by being proactive, we can just create great quality content.
Well, I think AI is here to stay for a little bit longer. So looking forward to a dedicated episode maybe in the future. And SEO is here to stay, of course, as well. I want to thank you so much once again for joining me today on the podcast. First female guest, there's more to come, of course. And for everyone watching, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like the episode, please make sure to rate it 5 stars at Spotify. I know there's a lot of people watching who haven't rated yet. So please make sure to do that, and looking forward to the next one. See you next week, everyone, and have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.